Welcome. Let's look at Kjsea grade 9 integrated science paper 1. Paper 1 is a theory and the paper 2 is the practical. This paper 1, has two sections, section A and section B. Section A is made up of multiple choices, while section B is made up of simple questions which need structured answers. Let's start from number 1. Choose the correct answer in each. During a science practical, Jane mixed sand and salt in water. Which method is best for separating the mixture? That is sand and water. Sand and water, filtration and evaporation will work very well. Filtration and that is answer A. Which one of the following is a compound? A compound must be made up of two or more elements. Therefore, oxygen is not a compound. Sodium chloride is a compound. So the answer is B. A drop of ink spread in water without stirring. This is explained by diffusion. This is diffusion and not capillarity. It is diffusion. Answer B. When green vegetables are boiled for a long time, they lose their color. This is an example of a temporary change, reversible change. It is an example of a permanent change, because losing of green coloring in vegetables is permanent because the chlorophyll breaks down. Number 5, the atomic number of sodium is 11 and its mass number is 23. How many neutrons are there? So neutrons is equal to mass number minus protons, which is 11. That is 12. So the answer is C. Which element is correctly matched with its symbol? Potassium P no, calcium C no, iron Fe yes, sodium so no. So the answer is C. 6. The answer is C. Which of the following is a property of metals? Poor conductors of heat, no. So metals are generally good conductors of electricity and heat. Are good conductors of electricity and heat. The answer C. Number 7. Oxygen is prepared in the lab by heating copper carbonate, potassium permanganate, sodium hydroxide, sodium chloride. It is prepared by heating potassium permanganate. Number B, question 8. Fire in an oil deposit is best extinguished using oil. So you can use foam extinguisher, carbon dioxide, water, sand. Fire in an oil deposit. So if it is oil, you cannot use water. You cannot use water. So the best is foam extinguisher, because foam extinguisher are effective on oil fires. Foam extinguisher. Which structure controls the movement of materials in and out of the cell? In and out of the cell, it is D, the cell membrane. Cell membrane controls the movement of materials in and out of the cell. Number 11. The part of a light microscope used to focus light onto the specimen. Light onto the specimen is the mirror. So that is answer C. The mirror reflects light onto the specimen in a microscope. Number 12. The process by which plant roots hair absorb water from the soil is the process by which plant root hairs absorb water from the soil. Actually, it is through osmosis. Number 12, it is osmosis. Osmosis is the diffusion of water into plant root cell. Yes, osmosis. Because of the concentration gradient that is there. Which of the following is So D is not, because type of microscope is not at all. Yeah, so that cannot affect the diffusion. Number 14, a motor car engine converts chemical energy from fuel is converted to kinetic energy in a car engine. Therefore, the correct answer is B, chemical energy to kinetic energy. Number 15, a block of wood weighs 10 newtons as an area of contact 0.5 meters square. The pressure exerted is, we know, pressure is equal to weight over area. Pressure is equal to force over area, and that is 10 over 5, and that is 20 newtons per meter square. A is the correct answer. Which one of the following is not an alloy? Which one is not? Sulfur is not. Steel is an alloy. Brass is an iron, and bronze is an alloy. Number 18. Which water type forms more rather than soap? Which water type forms more rather with soap? Hard water, soft water, salt water, rainwater. That one is the soft water, rather small with soap than hard water. It is the soft water. Which of the following is not a condition for photosynthesis? D is not. Nitrogen is not required for photosynthesis, but the three are required. Which part of the human digestive system produces bile? Bile is produced by the liver. The liver produces bile. So C produces the bile. Insect-pollinated flowers are adapted by having insect-pollinated flowers. The insect-pollinated flowers are adapted, they have large, brightly colored petals to attract insects. Therefore, small or dull, no, large, brightly colored. That is the correct answer, is B. The insect-pollinated flowers have large, brightly colored petals to attract insects. The movement of seeds away from the plant parent is important because the seeds dispersal prevents overcrowding and competition. So prevents overcrowding. That is very correct. Number 23. A food chain always begins with. It begins with the producer, the one that produces the food. So food chain starts with the producer. B. Food chain begins with the producer, that is the plant. Which human activity is most likely to cause water pollution in rivers? Human activity that is likely to cause pollution in water rivers is number 24. That is industrial effluent discharge pollute water. So it is industrial effluent discharge. That is what will pollute the river. Number 25. The type of mirror used by dentists to view teeth is, it is the concave mirror. Dentists use concave mirror to focus light to the teeth. Number 26. The distance between the mirror and its focal point is known as the distance between the mirror and it is called the focal length. Focal length is the distance between mirror and its focal point. Number 27. In a wave, the distance between two successive crests is called the distance between two successive crests. It is called a wavelength. The distance between two successful crests. Number 28. Which of the following is not an example of a transverse wave? Sound wave is not an example of a transverse wave. The rest are examples. Remote sensing satellite are mainly used for correcting information about the Earth. Number C is the correct answer. Which of the following best describes energy transformation in a torch? In a torch, we start by chemical, electrical, and light. That is part B. Now, this section B, structured questions that require simple answers written by the learners. We start with question 1, and the questions have been separated: biology, chemistry, and physics separately. So we start with the biology part 1, 14 marks. Draw a well-labeled diagram of a plant cell. So the learner is required to draw a well-labeled diagram of a plant cell. And this is the well-labeled diagram of a plant cell. This is how it should look like. Cell membrane, chloroplast, nucleus, cytoplasm, a large vacuole, mitochondria, and the cell wall. That is a plant cell. State 3 differences between a plant cell and an animal cell. Differences. An animal cell and a plant cell. The differences between a plant cell and animal cell. Plant cells have cell wall, while animal cells do not have. That's one the difference. Plant cells contain chloroplast, while animal cells do not have chloroplast. Plant cells have large central vacuole, while animals have small vacuoles. Plant cells are usually rectangular, while animal cells are round. Plant cells produce their own food via photosynthesis, while animals do not. The plant cells have plasmodesmata, while animal cells lack plasmodesmata. Plant cells store starch, animal cells store glycogen. Plant cells are autotrophic, while animal cells are heterotrophic. Plant cells have rigid structure, while animal cells are flexible. So how many differences were you asked? So if it is 2 or 3, you list these are the differences between animal cell and a plant cell. During a biology lesson, learners observe the stomata under a microscope. State the function of stomata. What is the function of the stomata? Explain 2 adaptations of the leaf for photosynthesis. The functions of the stomata: allow exchange of gases, control transpiration, allow water vapor to escape, aid in cooling of the plant, maintain water balance. That is the functions of the stomata. Adaptations of the leaf to its function in photosynthesis: they have broad surface area to capture light, thin structure to allow gas exchange, chlorophyll in chloroplast to absorb light, veins for transport water and food. They have stomata for gaseous exchange, cuticle to reduce water loss, transparent epidermis to let light pass through, palisade cells packed with chloroplasts. And we know chloroplasts contain chlorophyll, and chlorophyll are the one absorb light. A goat feeds on grass, which is then eaten by human being. Draw a food chain to represent this relationship. Draw a food chain to represent that relationship. So it is a grass, goat, then human. That is the food chain. Now we have come to chemistry. A student was asked to determine whether a sample of water was hard or soft. State one physical test can be carried out. Add soap to water, observe brother formation. Boil the water, observe scale formation either. You can do the first one or the second one. Advantages of hard water. State advantages. Improves taste of water, provides essential minerals such as magnesium and calcium ions in the body, strengthens the bones. It also has disadvantages. Hard water has disadvantages. Forms scum with soap, clogs, pipes, reduce efficiency of soap, forms scales in boilers. Electron arrangement of magnesium. Magnesium is atomic number 12. So the electron arrangement is 282. 282. Uses of magnesium. So the question is state. Then state two uses of magnesium in daily life. State two uses. So magnesium is used in the manufacture of aircraft, making alloys like magnesium, fireworks, medicine, and acids, batteries, etc. So you state two. Name two methods of preventing rust of iron. Methods of preventing ions. Name two. I will give you several. We have painting of iron, oiling of or greasing, galvanizing, that is coating with zinc, alloying with chromium, stainless steel, coating with plastic, sacrificial protection, electroplating. Either you needed to state two of them. Write the chemical symbol of sodium. Na is the chemical symbol for sodium. Copper, Cu. Oxygen support combustion. Explain this statement using real life example. Oxygen reacts with fuel to release energy. Example, a candle burns brightly in oxygen. Wood burns faster in pure oxygen. Combustion requires oxygen to produce heat and light. Part 3, which is physics. A box weighs 200 newtons, rests on a surface area of 0.5. Calculate the pressure exerted by the box. Then give one application of pressure in liquids. We know very well that pressure is equal to force over area. So 2000 divided by 5, and that is the answer. 400 newtons per meter square. Applications of pressure, it is used in hydraulic brakes, water supply in dams, ranges, lifting heavy objects using liquid pressure, water fountains. A learner placed Elana placed a candle in front of a concave mirror. State the meaning of focal length of a mirror. Meaning, mention one use of concave mirrors in daily life. So, focal length is the distance between the mirror and its focal point. Use of concave mirrors. Concave mirrors are used by dentists to see the teeth. Car headlights use concave mirrors. Also solar concentrators, shaving mirrors. Shaving mirrors use also concave. The transverse wave diagram label the crest, the trough, wavelength, and amplitude. It has been labeled as you can see. Yes?